Ladies and gentlemen, I warmly welcome you to this joint press conference of the Vinci Soccer Premier League VSPL and the Concacaf U17 World Cup qualifier being hosted right here on our soil in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Hosted by the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Football Federation. This morning's engagement will outline key information regarding both competitions, provide insight into technical and organizational preparation, and reaffirm the Federation's commitment to football development at all levels. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now hear from the chairman of the LOC for the U17 Boys World Cup qualifier, Mr. Nelson Hillocks.
Vice President, Second Vice President, Decent, Fellow Chair John, Sponsor Bob, Sports Ambassador Ian Allen, Head Coach Mercury, members of the Marketing and PR team and committee of the SVGFF, members of the media, a sporting good morning, and at the same time I want to wish all in the sporting family a productive and a successful 2026 and beyond. I want to say a special good morning to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I want to, at this time, as the chair of the local organizing committee, to inform the nation, to update the nation, that our plans for hosting these 6 games from February the 5th to the 10th are well on the way. As of today, you will see Ms. Fraser beefing up a PR drive as you never see before. We will be bombarding the social media. We'll be bombarding you on the radio because we want to let you know that the only place that you should be from 3 a.m. on Thursday, the 5th of February, will be at the Arnorsville playing field. And until around 9 in that afternoon. And then you will be back there on Saturday, the 7th, from 3 p.m. And you have to be there early on Saturday. I'm urging you now. I'm giving you the notice now, Vincentians. You have to be there early on Saturday because on that day, Vinci Heat will be playing the first game. So we are not fortunate to get the final. We have the final games on the Thursday and the Sunday, but the Saturday, if you want to see Vinci Heat warm up, you have to be there at 2 o'clock to really perform your role as the 12th and the 13th player on that field. And then on Tuesday, we get back to the Arnorsville playing field. We want you to see the 6 games for 3 o'clock, and then we will be there until around 9 o'clock. And in our group, we have the might of Vinci Heat. And as we know, we are very hard to beat. We have DR, the Dominican Republic, coming in to be a part of the group. We have St. Kitts, and we have the mighty USA. So we have 4 Talawa teams to see who will emerge the number 1, the champions of this Group E. As I say, we are meeting regularly. Up to yesterday we met. We are ensuring that all I's are dotted and all T's will be crossed. And we want to be one of the best support, and we want to join with the FF to give Mr. Mercury and his boys the best support because we are expecting to do well in this tournament. Speaking with head coach Mokri this morning and before, the team is well into practice. The boys are giving it their all. They are not, I wouldn't say they are 100% there as yet. Well, he will do what is necessary, and he's prepared to do what is necessary, and the guys prepared to do what is necessary to make St. Vincent and the Grenadines proud. So again, I'm calling on all Vincentians in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I say Vincentian here, I am talking about the plural country, us in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Take your boat, come up, and let us line up and let us support our young U17 Vincy Heat guys. At this moment, I just want to say special good morning to President Spring and to Minister Cupid. So far, they are giving a lot of support to the local organizing committee. They are ensuring that when we have any little hitches, they are making sure that they are there to get them sorted out, and I want to say thanks to them. On the 23rd of December, Minister Cupid and President Spring summoned me to a meeting in Annesville to sort out a problem. And they give me half an hour to get there. So they are working along with the committee to make sure that all the issues are in place. The teams will be moving into St. Vincent around the 3rd, just after the cricket. Around the 3rd, they will be moving into St. Vincent. And the officials and everyone, it will be an excellent sports tourism venture where people will be coming here, parents will be coming and so forth. We have information already, parents will be coming, where people will be coming to this venue to spectate, to party. People will be coming to spectate, players to participate, and both players and parents and so forth will be coming to venerate. So, Minister Cupid, you could I know he knows already, but you could tell your colleagues in the Ministry of Tourism, it's an excellent sport tourism venture where money will be added to the economy, where our gross domestic product will be, where our GDP will be affected, where our economy will be affected in a positive way, because I am seeing a budget. This budget I'm seeing so far is not completed yet, of close to $1 million to run this tournament. So a lot of money will be spent in this country. The economy will benefit in a positive way. And I just want to let Vincentians know, it will be a giveaway. It will be a giveaway. We want to ensure that everyone come out, support your child, support your son, support your cousin, support who you have to support. Come out and support. So we are making it affordable. If you choose that you want to pay by the day, to see the two games, it's only 10 EC dollars, less than 4 US. And if you want to buy a season ticket, it's only $25, less than 10 US. Come and support the youths. Come and be a part of them. And we want to see on 3 nights, the 3 days, 3 nights, we want to see a 10,000 strong Annesville playing field. And as we say, it's part of the coming together. We started the coming together with the females on the 29th of the unification drive on the 29th with the females. So we are continuing it with our U17 boys. And at this time, as the chair of the local organizing committee, I want to personally wish Mr. Mokri and his team all the best, and wish all the boys, all the players all the best, and to extend a thank you to their parents, their guardians, for allowing them to represent St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and to let the guys know that it's an honor to represent your country, and we know they will serve us as excellent ambassadors. So again, Vincentians, we will be on the road, we will be in your face as of today to promote this event, and we are looking forward for some full Annisville. Again, thank you, and may God be with us all as we enjoy a productive and sports-filled 2026 and beyond. Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister of Youth, Sports, Culture and Creative Industries, Honorable Kashaka Cupid, President of the St. Vincent Grenadines Football Federation, Mr. Otashi Spring, and other committee members, members of the head table, representatives of the St. Vincent Grenadines National Under-17 football team, and the head coach, Mr. Kendall Mercury, representatives of the St. Vincent Grenadines Football Federation's Tier 1 clubs, sponsors, representative sponsors, and we have here with us Mr. Bob, representatives of the media, members of the local organizing committees, both of the Under-17 qualifiers and the VSPL, and all other members here with us this morning. Well wishers, good morning. Change and advancement are always welcome words to the ears of progressive people. And as Vincentians, a civilization of purposefully evolving and progressive people, this is a period of change we gleefully embrace. The local organizing committee of the Vinci Soccer Premier League believes that this trust to provide an improved product for our Tier 1 clubs and football lovers in general will come across as one worthy of your support. We, the members of the Vinci Soccer Premier League LOC, are pleased to be part of this movement. We endeavor to offer you a new and improved football product, one that should include increased winnings for all clubs, daily awards to outstanding performers, a rigorous marketing and branding program, improved relations and logistical support between organizers, the SVG Football Federation's executive, clubs and stakeholders, cooperative collaborations between sponsors and stakeholders in St. Vincent Grenadines, and new, aesthetically pleasing event presentations. We have dedicated an invaluable amount of time over the past 5 months to initiate an enhancement in our football product. If we are to be truly honest with ourselves, it has not been a smooth journey, but rather one of various delays, frustrating, painstaking decision-making processes, and a heightened number of disappointments for players and football lovers alike. However, stars cannot shine without darkness. So therefore, without those challenges, our desire to present to you a Vinci Soccer Premier League production, something better, may not have seemed plausible. So today, we engage in a launch that will mark a new and exciting vision, which we hope that in the not too distant future can evolve into a fully fledged semi-professional football league. We wish to extend gratitude to all who have supported the journey so far, and to extend open, welcoming arms to everyone else who may wish to join us along the journey. Football has always been the game of the people in St. Vincent Grenadines. That has not changed. I'm not sure if Minister Kippen would agree with that, but we'll go on. We therefore must, however, move with the global changes required to enhance football's marketability and sustainability, that in the long run will transition this into a major productive event and opportunity and livelihood for all stakeholders involved. So from the LOC of the VSPL, we say move forward with us in the right direction as one island chain with one positive footballing dream into one new visionary Tier 1 league. Thank you.
And I say we, I mean the staff, came up with a project that we put together. So we have a vision statement, which is to improve the St. Vincent and Grenadines U17 men's ranking in Concacaf. Is the competition format, as if you are aware, is now every year, and it is based on your ranking. So that's how you get placed. So for example, last year we came last in our group. So hence we are paired with the USA, and that is because of ranking. The USA is ranked second in CONCACAF from last season, Mexico won. So the rule is, one of the rules is the top team in the group play the bottom team in the group. So that's why we asked pair off with the USA as the first game. So basically we're trying to improve our ranking so next year we could get a favorable draw. But the mission is to qualify for U17, the FIFA U17 Men World Cup. That's really what the aim is. Currently we train Tuesdays, Wednesday, Thursday, and we play a game on Saturdays. Most of the boys are from school, so the timing right now is a little bit difficult. A few of the boys are in grade 4 and 5, they have exam, they have SBA. So the time for us is a bit limited with the contact hours. So we are hoping that support from the SVGFF executive, we could have like a little extensive camp, which we have proposed. And that's where we are for now. I don't know if any questions, I'll just leave it to you guys.
A pleasant good morning to all. Protocol has been established. My name is Brenzy Bob, owner of Bargain at Rentals. Today is not just about launching a raffle. Today is launching a new way of supporting football across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So the idea and the initiative is to raffle a brand new vehicle within 6 months. And that with that brand new vehicle, we would be raffling. Somebody would be walking away with it at the end of the raffle. Also, within the 6 months period, we will also be giving away other items. At the end of the tournament that would be played within this 6 months period, we will also be giving away cash prizes to MVPs and other players, right? So the goal is not just about the funds that the vehicle or the raffle would bring in. It's also a win for football across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a way of making competitions more competitive, also for players to play at a higher level, knowing that you're not only winning on the field, but off the field also. So just picture you as a player, you playing football and you're getting paid by your hard work and dedication that you have given to football itself. And this is not just a one-off initiative. It's a long-term relationship that we are hoping to build with the Football Federation and the football communities and family across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So next year, we also have ideas for long-term, which just picture you as a player, an MVP, not just the raffle, but you walking away with a vehicle at the end of the league. That is the goal right now. So as I say, it's not an opportunity to only raise funds, but it's an opportunity to give back to the sporting community and to players. We know that they are working hard on and off the field, preparing for games and so forth. Some of them are not financially able to be best equipped for the game. And this is our initiative to help to give back to the football community.
Protocol having been established already. However, it would be remiss of me not to acknowledge the presence of the president of the local football federation, Mr. Otashi Spring, other members of the head table, members of the media, pleasant Morning. Well, it's actually refreshing to be in this position as minister. It's to be in this press conference this morning. Sports in St. Vincent and the Grenadines has been on a downward trajectory. And as part of the current administration, I am here to reinforce our commitment to the advancement and development of sports in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, partnering with the Football Federation is an important step in this venture in terms of the development, especially of our youths. And the under-17 tournament poses an excellent opportunity for our young boys to engage in active competition and to showcase their talent on an international stage. Now, having the opportunity to express yourself as a youngster, I am, as minister, I am hopeful that, and well, I'm happy that the coach is here besides me too, that the boys capitalize on this opportunity. There are a lot of benefits to be derived from being successful and being a professional. And sports is a pathway and a light out of poverty. And we know there are many persons who actively engage in different sporting disciplines, but they're from less fortunate backgrounds. Their parents may not be able to afford to buy gears, but this is a golden opportunity for the youngsters to really showcase their talent, and accompanied with the professional league that is to be launched as well. This is an important initiative and a step forward for football and sport holistically. Now, let me go a little further and say that the government is absolutely committed towards advancing all sports, not just football, even though football historically is the most popular sport in the country. We are definitely committed to that, and we realize in order to produce world-class athletes, because that is the primary objective for us, to produce world-class athletes could advance the country and promote our country. And we would all, as we mentioned, the benefits of sports tourism too. So when our athletes are successful on the international stage, our country benefits from the goodwill from their performances. And in order to be successful and advance as an athlete, it's imperative for the government to support all local sporting organizations. And that includes upgrading our sporting facilities. We have mentioned time and time again about the possibility or the initiative to light our playing fields. Currently, I could say here publicly that we're in the process of engaging and lighting 4 playing fields, and we hope to achieve this within the next 3 to 4 months. And lighting playing fields, it gives us an added advantage and a different dimension, because there are persons who are interested in engaging in sports after hours. And lights creates this opportunity for persons to come and engage also in health and wellness, to exercise after work. And it creates a lot of bonding in the communities too. Now, let me go further and say that I am happy to hear about the partnership too with Mr. Bob. Now, it's important that our local businesses continue to support sports and by extension culture in the country. I mean, the businesses, they have the corporate social responsibility to do so. But businesses are only willing to invest in a product or in athletes who could really excel too. And we must be cognizant of this fact. However, I would just want to encourage the local businesses to continue supporting sports in the country. We recognize that sports has a lot of benefits for the individual and by extension the country. It opens doors to our tourism product as well. The hotels would benefit, the caterers, the taxi operators, and the list goes on and on and on. These are stakeholders who would benefit from this tournament. And I just want to commend the local federation for taking the bold step in organizing the Premier League and for hosting this tournament. Actually, as the LOC chairman mentioned, there was a slight clash, I want to say conflict, but a clash between cricket and football. But as the passionate sport enthusiast I am as minister, I was in the privileged role of rectifying the situation, and my goal as minister is to work along cohesively with all sporting organizations, as I mentioned too, and there must be adequate communication between both. So the issue was resolved, and we have both sporting organizations which are happy today. Cricket is happy. They're hosting the Women's Super 50, and football is also happy. So it's a win-win for sports in general. So as minister, I'm happy that I could facilitate this type of initiative and collaboration with both sporting organizations. So let me just, in concluding, let me just take this opportunity to wish the Football Federation all the best in hosting this tournament. As we know, Vincy Heat, we'll be supporting, we'll be cheering, we'll be shouting in our numbers. I just want to encourage the viewing public to come out and support our country. We know, as I said, we know the importance of sports to the nation and our sustainable development, and we continue to rally around our under-17 boys. Good luck and thank you very much.
The Honorable Mr. Kishaka Cupid, Minister of Sport and Culture. Mr. Josiah Descent, the Tournaments Committee Chair of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Football Federation. Mr. Nelson Hillocks, Chairperson of our local organizing committee, who is tasked with organizing international games. Mr. Roxel John, Chairperson of the VSPL organizing committee, sponsors, members of the media, head coach Mercury, the U17 boys, a pleasant morning. And let me say welcome once again to this press conference as we highlight two major milestones on our footballing calendar. that is being the Vinci Soccer Premier League and our participation in the U17 Boys Concacaf World Cup qualifying competition that we are hosting here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Let me start with the VSPL. It's an initiative that is destined to propel and, in a whole other degree, empower our competitive effort here on the local scene where our senior men is of a concern. Now, for those who might be listening and are yet to understand what the VSPL is all about, it is actually our flagship tournament, domestic tournament, that would involve our Tier 1 club's senior men team. It is the highest level of domestic football in the country. And this exercise is expected to be delivering an effort like this like no other before. We have presented it in its initial stages as the Vinci Semi-Pro League. As it stands, it would have been embodied by support from our government, as well as new structures as it regards to how all the stakeholders involved interact in delivering 90 top level games. That being said, there would have been and is still a higher degree of expectation in terms of how clubs prepare, how the local management team prepare to facilitate and accommodate these games, how the referees are expected to up their game, and in a whole other nutshell, how we as a football federation would have been looking, or is looking to market our domestic effort in a way that have never been done before. Addition to that, it is an exercise that is geared at establishing a strategic pillar to bring to the realization or into reality the initiation of what we call our footballing economy. And that is something that we feel is very, very important to our development, because it enables us with the independence to go out and generate our own funds to help develop the sport, as we know what we get from our global partners is not adequate enough to develop the sport at the rate at which the sport is really demanding that you develop it. Football, as we know today, is very, very dynamic, and it is evolving so fast that it now have to be a mandate of every administration to ensure that whatever you do, that you don't find yourself being lost in the movement that is currently unfolding before our eyes. We do hope that the exercise as it is now and as we are presenting it, that we can deliver on what would have previously been promised and what we would have previously paraded in terms of what we term to be semi-pro in our local language. We are still working with our strategic partners to ensure that we can deliver such, but rest assured, even while we negotiate, even while we explore, that what is in store in this edition of the VSPL is like no other. You would have heard it from Chairman Roxel John, and the fact that you have such an esteemed chairman spearheading this initiative right there alone tells you that it is something that will be like no other before. In this same breath, let me say thank you, Mr. Roxel, and your team for the effort that you have been putting in, even to bring us to this point where we can call a press conference and we could let the whole world know what is happening where our domestic tournament is of a concern. I do know that Roxel and his team have been working very hard, have been meeting ever so often, have been interacting with the teams, keeping them updated with respect to the developments. And on the behalf of the Executive Council, I must take the opportunity to say thank you for that. Now, the VSPL, it remains a flagship competition, raising the standard of domestic football and providing a pathway for talent development. As it concerns hosting the U17 Concacaf World Cup qualifiers involving the United States of America, the Dominican Republic, St. Kitts, and of course St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Young Vince Heat, as we would put it. The fact that we would have been awarded this event to host, it speaks volume to the confidence that our Concacaf brothers have in the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Football Federation, and by extension, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Executive Council. The Executive Council is still evolving, we're still learning, and we are still maturing. And this is a big win and a testament to the growth that we have saw over the last 22 or so months of football administration here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And that is something that is highly commendable. It's something that ought not to be slighted, because if we can remember quite vividly, the administration was given a life of 3 months, and then it moved to 6, and then it moved to 1 year. And after 22 months, we're still here. We're still here to the extent where our global partners could entrust with us an activity or event of this caliber and of this nature. And that is something that I think is highly commendable, not just for the administration, but for the country as a whole. Likewise, as I would have commended and expressed our gratitude to Raxel and the VSP LLC, I must do the same for Nelson Hillocks and the LLC. And truth be told, Mr. Hillocks and his team, they have been delivering every single time over the last 22 months, and even prior to that, being a part of previous administration. So I think that he's a legend in the art of organizing at this level. And as you can see, he's well decked out and all that sort of stuff. So I think that he understands this exercise maybe better than most. And so me and Mr. Hillocks really on the behalf of the Executive Council, thank you and your team for the effort. And I do know that the real work actually going to be commencing the next couple of weeks to ensure that at least we can show the world, as we would have done in the Nation Leagues last year, that St. Vincent is ripe and ready to host big things where football is ever concerned. Again, I am also pleased to be sitting next to Mr. Bob, that he's actually here on camera, on TV, with football, presenting himself as a partner. This is also very commendable, and I must take the opportunity to even reach out and encourage the corporate sector to be more involved in football, and not just football. I mean, the things of sports. The minister expressed it, that our recreational appetite as a Vincentian people is huge. It's huge, and there are prospects, and indeed a market there among the sporting community where the corporate sector can strive and can push forward their business venture. And I'm pleased that Bob have been convinced, converted. He got it, and so he's here. I'm do hoping that the next time that we come here, that maybe me and I might have to take a seat down there, and we'll see the likes of the St. Vincent breweries, the national lotteries, the BOSVGs, the Acados, and so forth coming on stream on the national level, supporting not just football again, but our sporting discipline, because we really need it. And truth be told, what we are getting from our strategic partners is not equally enough to push the effort and to give it the lifeline that it requires. So I want to thank Bob and his establishment. Is it Bargain Auto Rentals? Bargain Auto Rentals, in being a part of this exercise, helping to push the VSPL to another level. So here you could come to football, buy a raffle ticket, and before you know it, you walk away with a car. Never happened before. And lastly, in closing, again, I want to echo the sentiments of Nelson Hillocks in really reaching out to our footballing people, our footballing family, and by extension, Vincentians in general. We have saw the support over the years, where persons who have never kicked a ball before or know how a ball is being kicked came to lend their support, and we would have saw what the transformation and how the environment was real electric and so forth, and it was actually helpful for the players on the field and the team in general. Now we are here, yes, at a youth level, and these youngsters need that support as well. I do hope that that will have some of the schools coming in and being a part of the exercise, supporting the youngsters, supporting their fellow students, because we're talking about U17. Everybody there is actually in a secondary school, or should be in a secondary school. So I mean, the parents is please take that time out and nothing goes strong and give that extra boost when a son could see his mother or father, uncle, cousin, brother, sister on the line cheering them on. That also add, and so I want to take that opportunity to encourage you guys to come out and lend support. And lastly, with respect to the government, I do know that there's a drive with the new government as it concerns sport. As president, I would have had conversations from all the stages with the minister, and we still have more conversations to have, because football is on a serious level as we have it. Whatever we do is for the life of football, because we understand what football means to the people, and that it is real, it is serious, that it impacts lives, and so we have to handle this business with care. And I would echo the sentiment that whether it's a red, blue, yellow, or green government, whether it's a government in a 1 year, 4th year, last year, a government is a primary stakeholder for any sporting discipline organization here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, primarily small developing state. Anybody who basically say otherwise is grossly misinformed. And so we as a football federation, we welcome the sort of a camaraderie and accommodation that we would have received from the government. You call Kishaka, I mean, it's like almost, if you don't answer right away, you will get a text message just immediately after. And that is the kind of a cooperation and linkage that we do have, and is grossly and greatly appreciated. And we are looking to at least ensure that we can improve and mature that as we go forward, because a lot of work the football have to do, and it would require the government's support to get it done. Thank you guys very much. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
They put me on the spot, man. But now the previous administration, they would have contracted local businessmen to as part of the project to procure the lights. So the lights are currently on island. The 4 fields to be direct and transparent. I think most persons would probably know about them, because they've been mentioned publicly before. 1, the London playing field. 2, the Layu playing field. I had the opportunity to visit that playing field yesterday. Some extensive work has been done there already in terms of the bases for the towers, the lighting towers. 3, the Fitzhughes playing field, and last but not least, the Daphne playing field, which is in my constituency. So I would have the privilege and honor of turning on those lights when they're erected and installed.
Right, so our proposed start date is the 30th of January. We have completed a 90-game fixture already that has been out over 2 weeks to all the Tier 1 clubs and the stakeholders as it relates to the press and those others that are going to be involved. We have 5 games. We'll be playing the Tier 1 basically on weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Obviously, there may be some challenges as we go along with other activities, but we are hoping to have 2 games on Fridays, 1 game on Saturday. The Saturday game is primarily, on most cases, 3:30 encounter, and then we go back on Sunday with another doubleheader. We are trying to definitely work along with the limited facilities that we have. So you would see when you get an opportunity that the fixture would have one venue, a base venue for that weekend. That base venue, which may be used for weekend 1, would not be used for weekend 2 as we try to rest those fields. So it's a collaborative effort going forward, but Friday 30th of January, our start date. Okay, so the venues are marked. We will begin on the 30th with the Brighton Playing Field or the Brighton Technical Center. We will also be using the Independence Park. We have Diamond and Cumberland as venues as well, primarily for Saturdays.
To be perfectly honest, we haven't gotten much on the USA except for the World Cup games. But bear in mind, from my research, the World Cup team that they played in of late, there are only 2 players who are going to be back on the team. So they're going to have a whole new outfit. So to my best of my ability, I know the US system is they have all the youth teams in place. So they are 14, 15, 16. So normally, if they keep their pattern, the 16s will become the 17s naturally, but they keep the same coach. Now my job is to study the coach, not the team. So if I know the coach from previously, how he works, his patterns, I could have a better judgment on that. And I think the coach is, what's his name again? His name is Paul. Can't remember his first name, but he was with the Jamaican team in the World Cup campaign. He is a past U20 World Cup winner, so he's not by a string of any imagination a new kid on the block. So, but that's the kind of challenge I love. So I'm gonna be pairing with somebody with a World Cup U20 medal in the next dugout, and that kind of always tickle me. You understand? Okay. So that's how it is. St. Kitts, we haven't had anything on St. Kitts. I'm trying to get my people down there to see if they can give me some info. And we haven't had much on DR either. We're just going on last year's performance. But we're gonna do what we can do, what we can control. Our job is to, encourage the boys, let them play brave, let them play fearless. I know psychology, they be thinking USA. So I don't even see it like that. I see it as, yes, they have a better program, but on the day, 11 players on the field, and we can compete. I can tell you that. Our main problem is we can't compete for 90 minutes. That is what we have to change. We'll compete for 20, 30, 40 minutes, sometimes 70 minutes, and then we fall apart.
So you got to get your fitness up.
Well, it's generally across the board. General fitness, yes. Mad fitness, that's why we play every weekend. But then the caliber of opponents that you play is not the same. So we have to be playing elite teams, countries. For example, let's use the same USA. They normally go to tournaments in France, tournaments here. And Mr. Spring is here, Mr. Decent is here, Sports Minister is here. That's where we have to aspire to go.
I want to just say thank you for your honesty. Some people might think it's a negative. What you just said. You only could solve a problem when you recognize you have a problem.
Yes. Yes. All right, now.
I have a question if you can coach. Talking on the under 17 team. I want to know how you went about selecting the team. The players from the Benedicts, Greenwood, Central, Greenwood. Would the players be on show? Because the public players, the players So who they are, calming the young guys. So can you just give us your insight on it?
Well, in a nutshell, I took the job 2 months ago, or not even 2 months yet, to correct myself. It'll be 2 months and the first day of competition basically. So I've been a month and about 2 weeks or so into the job. That has its challenges in terms of selection. There was a U17 competition last year, a SVG FFU 17 competition. So that's where the core of the players were picked. And most of the players were picked before I came along. And that's just natural. If I'm just engaged 6 weeks, it's obvious there have been some things in place from before. And then me along with my staff now would use our judgment and how we would approach addition and subtraction. So for example, when I agreed to take the job, I started to go into the school games, because the school competition I was on. I saw some players at the school games. So some of the selectees, most of the selectees, players at the school games. So there was a chance to have what we call as coaches eye tests of the players. Then from training, we now have what we're looking for in terms of the different components, from technical, tactical, psychosocial, and so on. I particularly, as a coach, from my perspective, I have what I call a matrix in university called a rubric. That's how I pick the players. I have a list of things in the 10 phases of the game that I look for. But at the U17, it's not elite, it's development. So there are some things that will be minus. So that's how we work it. For right now, I love players who love to express themselves, who is brave enough to take the ball in difficult places with the opponent on the back. Because I want to see players who can go, who I can elevate to and recommend to Mr. Hendrickson as early as possible. That's it.
It's actually one of the unique things with football as opposed to other sporting disciplines. Most of the time, other sporting disciplines, you have to deal with one team. But with football, I mean, we have to be working at least seven at a given time. So the U20 boys is also in action, as well as the U17 girls. And the senior women too are actually in preparation mode as well for the upcoming sojourn. But seeing that you spoke of the Trinidad exercise, it would have been a part of this administration's policy, because we want to be ranking driven. We want, at least to the best of our affordability, we empower our technical department in terms of equipping them to the best of our ability and affordability. So one of the things that we basically would have done is, if we are sending any national team out there to represent, prior to they going to their official sojourn, we try to at least give them a set of international friendlies. And if you could date back from since we came in, that you would see that is a trend. So the U20 boys, they have their sojourn in February, and they're going to compete in the Concacaf U20s championship. So they're now going through their period of international friendlies, where they are in Trinidad currently, and there they will be playing the Grenada U20 boys, the Trinidad U20 boys, and they would play a professional club down there. So they're there. They went in on Saturday and they would return on the 24th. They're only there to play 3 games. And the U20 boys are under the senior men department. Again, because we are building for the next World Cup season, which kickstarts in 2028. So U20s, U23s, we want them to be exposed right now to our professional head coach, so that at least he could start working with them from early, that when we get to that level, at least we should have some pretty good rounded domestic guys to help our efforts for the next World Cup sojourn.